The other British heavyweight world champion is back. The unified heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua, defends his unified heavyweight belts against number one contender, Alexander Usyk. Let's talk about it live on Bwtm Sports. Don't forget to smash that like button. Let's get started. So here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Bwtm Sports Gaming. As you enter the room, please do smash the like button. That lets YouTube know that this is a video that people should be watching. Uncle James Ali Bashir, how you doing? It's good to see you in the house. You want to come on and have a chat? Be great to have you in the room. I'll tell you what, I'll send you the link anyway. So if you want to jump on and have a chat, then it'd be an absolute honor to have you in the room. So boxing royalty as always. Uncle James Ali Bashir in the house. Let me see if I can get this link over to him so he can jump in and have a word. Let's see. Uncle Bashir. It wasn't planned. Didn't expect it, but I sent the link over to him. Yep. Uncle Bashir, check your WhatsApp page and you will be able to. Great sign to see Mr. Bashir, yes. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're all well. And good evening to see you as well, Mr. Lev. Hope you're well. Let me just put this up on the room. Let me put this little banner up here. So I should start doing it. So I've just put this banner down there as well. Don't forget to smash the like button. It's so important you do smash the like button in the house. Okay, so as you've seen, not even a couple of minutes, Uncle Bashir's already in the house. Let's see if we can bring him in. Uncle Bashir, how are we doing? It's great to have you in the house.
It's great to be here.
I like to see you on YouTube. You're getting better at this.
Yeah, by mistake.
Well, that's the best way. Hey, Uncle, for people who don't know, Uncle Bashir was the former trainer of Alexander Usyk. Oh, he's trained many other people as well, over 50 years in boxing, but that's beside the point. For this particular conversation, obviously, the relevance is Usyk's former trainer took him to the WBO Cruiserweight Championship of the world. And his best performance, I would say, since when in his Cruiserweight days for sure, in terms of footwork and mobility and all-round boxing package. Uncle Bashir, did you just hear the news that Lawrence Bacoli, is it? Martin Bacoli, Anthony Joshua's chief sparring partner, is now going to be Alexander Usyk's sparring partner. Have you heard that news? I mean, that's just totally.
No.
Yeah, that's the news that's just breaking. That Martin Bacoli is sparring with Alexander Usyk. Me, completely no. But that's Joshua's chief sparring partner. I'd be paying him not to go and spar Usyk. Your thoughts?
I would advise against it. I would advise against it. I wouldn't want him to do that.
So I understand you could use Bacoli as a sparring, like a spy in the camp, but how much of a spy in the camp can Bacoli be?
But Usyk is showing. Look, I don't give a damn what kind of sparring you do. It is not gonna stop my train from coming down the track. So that's a big up for Alexander Usyk because he's saying, "Hey, I'll invite your cousin in here if he can help me with the style." So that's Usyk is saying, "I don't give a damn." Come on. Bacoli is he that tall?
I think Bacoli is about 6'3". I've met him in person. He's 6'3", quite a big physical striker, heavy-handed. But I wouldn't say his jab is anywhere like Joshua. His athleticism is nothing like Joshua's. And he's very he's very easy to be counted by Coley. And you saw what Hunter did to Bacoli.
Right.
Hunter's the guy that beat up Bacoli, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I
don't understand the relevancy of Usyk inviting Bacoli into the camp,
because that's Anthony Joshua's chief sparring partner. That's been Joshua's number one sparring partner. It's been known for ages he's been his number one sparring partner.
Well, I mean, Michael Hunter beat his ass, okay? So Michael Hunter beat his ass. So what is that saying about the chief sparring partner for Anthony Joshua? You know, so I don't understand the relevancy that Usyk is bringing him in for, but I guess he sees something. But one thing is for certain, Usyk is saying to anybody who's paying attention, I don't give a shit. You know, bring who you want to bring here. When we get in that ring, it's just going to be me and Anthony Joshua. And that's a big up on Usyk's behalf.
You see the bull head now and the excess weight or the extra weight that Usyk's put on now?
No, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he's shaved his head now and he's put on weight. So, yeah.
When you say weight, what do you mean? 225, 230?
225, 230, I'm hearing at the moment.
I don't think
what are your
that's
thoughts?
Going to help. I don't think that's going to be advantageous to him. I don't think it's going to be beneficial at all. I mean, perhaps for 1 or 2 rounds, but as the fight progresses, if it progresses, I think that it's not going to be good for him.
I'm still confused, Uncle. Where are people this OLEKSANDR Usyk's a master class boxer. I didn't see it in the Chisora fight. I didn't see it in the Chaz Witherspoon fight. I didn't see it in the Tony Belly fight. So where is this master class coming from? What Usyk are we looking at?
I thought that he could have been a little more nimble in all of those fights. A little more agile, a little more nimble, a little quicker, you know, especially going back to the Chisora fight. I thought that he could be a little more nimble, but I don't know, maybe looking at his past fights at cruiserweight.
So if you had him at cruiserweight, moving to heavyweight, what would have been his optimum weight for you, knowing Usyk inside out the way you do?
I would have brought him into the Joshua fight. I would have brought him in at no more than 217, but 219.
What's the difference at him being at 225 upwards?
I think that the extra weight is going to slow him down a little bit. I don't think he'll be able to maintain the agile, quick movement, spur of the moment movement at that weight. I think that as the fight progresses, like I said, if the fight does progress, I don't think that it'll do him any good. I think that it'll start to weigh on him in a tough fight, you know, depending upon what Joshua does. If Joshua works him inside, if he mauls and brawls him, you know, it could tell on him early, you know, as early as 5 rounds.
So how do you put that weight on strategically going into the biggest fight of your career, not knowing how your body's going to cope under pressure in the biggest fight of your career? How do you know that?
Like I said, you know, I you know, my philosophy about boxing is that history is the best reward for all research. History is the best reward for all research. So when I go back and I look at the careers of Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, those guys never put on excessive weight. They came in relatively small, you know. I mean, anywhere from 213 to 220 in their heyday, you know, and that was it. What you see is what you get. That's how they came to the dance.
Lev Gravenson asks the question, is moving from cruiserweight to heavyweight different with these super heavyweights?
Repeat the question, please.
Lev Gravenson asks the question, is moving from cruiserweight to heavyweight different today with these super heavyweights?
Of course it is. You have a bigger, stronger men, slower but bigger, stronger men. When they hit you, the impact is what drains you of your energy. It's what drains you of your speed. It's what drains you of anything that you want to set up in your mind, because that changes everything. Pain changes everything. Once you
It
get hit
does.
hard inside your mind, you say, "Whoa, I don't want to get hit like that again," and that can change the outlook of any fight.
Who was the heaviest guy that you had in sparring with Alexander Usyk under your tutelage?
Um, I had Vlad Sarenko. Vlad Sarenko was the heaviest guy I had in there with Usyk.
How much was Usyk weighing at the time?
Usyk was weighing about 219, 220.
Okay. And how was his movement against Vlad Sarenko?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. We were preparing for the southpaw of South Africa, Machuno.
Okay.
We was preparing for
Okay.
that fight.
So he was coming down from 220 down to cruiserweight.
Right.
Okay. So what would you say is Usyk's normal walk around weight then, from what you knew of him?
Well, Usyk is the kind of guy that stays in shape. You know, he's not going to go too far over the limit. So I'm saying he's at 200 pounds. He's walking around 215, 214. But he keeps himself in good condition. He's never really going to go that far over the weight limit.
So 214, 215, that's a heavyweight.
If he's walking around that day, that's walk around weight. 200,
Okay. And
for cruiserweight, that's not bad.
so how much weight is he taking off then? 189, is it 188, 189 pounds for cruiserweight, is it?
Cruiserweight is 200 pounds. That's the limit.
200 pounds, okay. So, okay, that's 15 pounds. That's 15 pounds he had walking around more, maybe. 15, 20 pounds more, okay. Okay. Was there significant difference? It's a silly question to ask, but was there significant difference in him at cruiserweight weight and heavyweight weight in terms of his movement and flexibility and mobility?
Well, a lot depends on the kind of opponent and what the opponent is doing. If the opponent has a slow pace, then, Usyk can skate, slip, slide stay to the side kind of format inside the boxing match. But if Anthony Joshua is coming in there, to fight, if Anthony Joshua is coming in there to do a Sonny Liston or George Foreman, it
Demolition job.
It doesn't make a difference what Usyk is going to do. If he comes in there with that Sonny Liston, George Foreman mentality, it doesn't make a difference about what Usyk is going to do. It's big man versus little man. All right.
But is Joshua a good big man?
Well, it remains to be seen in this fight. This fight is going to tell the whole story. But I wouldn't suggest as a trainer, if I was training Joshua, I wouldn't suggest for him to go in there and try to be a cutie pie. I would suggest that he go inside the ring and put his foot on the floor and fight.
So, in terms of that, Joshua's weight, should he bulk up big like he was against Takam, or should he be slimmer and look for speed?
I think that he should stay slim. I think that Joshua should come in there at 245, 245, 242, if he can make that comfortably. I think that he's bigger than that, But if he could get to 245, 242 and come in there and box, he could do a good job.
Mobility. Usyk, it sounds logical. The lighter Usyk comes in, pardon me, the easier it is for him to move around the ring and get out of big blows. But if Chisora's hitting him, if Bellew's outboxing him, if Chaz Witherspoon's able to tag him, then it's more than likely Joshua's going to hit him, right?
As I've said over a period of time throughout the years that you and I have conversated, that you cannot wait for one fight to get in shape for the big fight. You would have to have been getting in shape for the big fight all of the time. So I don't think that there should be any drastic changes in what Usyk has done over the last 2-3 years, because any big changes is going to show up in this fight. You know, I think that Joshua has to be himself. When I say be himself, he can't go in there trying to go tit for tat with OLEKSANDR Usyk, because Usyk, that's his game. Usyk is going to outbox him, he's going to outslick him, he's going to outsmart him.
But can Usyk outslick him? He didn't outslick Derek Chisora. He didn't outslick Tony Bellew. He didn't outslick Chaz Witherspoon. So where's this outslick coming from? Where is it coming from?
He has the mentality, and he's the kind of guy that's going to make changes where he feels changes needs to be made.
But now, evidently,
he's going to feed off of Anthony Joshua. He's going to feed off him. If Joshua comes out there and starts out boxing, working behind his jab stuff, it's opening up a
can of worms.
A can of worms for Joshua, because Usyk can say, "Oh, I see what kind of game he wants to play." But like I just said, if he comes out there with that Sonny Liston mentality, with that George Foreman mentality, that we're not going to do this here. We're not going to go fooling around here. We're going to go to work right away. Did you bring your lunchbox? Because we're going to be here for a while, all right? As long as it takes for me to knock you out.
Well, let me ask, according to Terry Crow, he says that Usyk outslicked everyone. That's how he won. Usyk played with Witherspoon. You're his trainer. Did he play with Derek Chisora? Did he play with Tony Bellew, who was well behind on points? Tony Bellew was outboxing him. I don't know where this outslick's come from.
No, he didn't play. He didn't play with Tony, but he had Tony's number. He saw Tony was tiring as far back as the 4th round. I could tell the way he was boxing. He was just playing around with Tony, letting Tony tire himself out. When he saw Tony tired, that's when he turns it up.
So Usyk nearly knocked Derek Chisora out in the 7th round, but in the 7th round, Usyk looked tired himself.
You know what? What did I tell you?
I saw that too.
I told you after we talked, I said from the 7th round on, I would have had Usyk to settle down, plant his feet on the ground, and take the fight to Derek Chisora, because Derek Chisora was wiped out after the 7th round. He was out of gas. He was totally tired. So what he did was he acted like he wanted to get to Usyk. In other words, they were playing poker, and Usyk bought into Derek's hand, because Derek was being aggressive. Like, if I get close to you, I can do some damage. And Usyk didn't stand still. He kept moving and moving and moving. But Usyk should have called his bluff and said, "You know what? I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight," because Derek was exhausted. Derek had nothing left. But Derek sold him a bill of goods, and it got by.
So, Uncle, this Tony Crow says everybody who fights Usyk goes balls out and gases out. Usyk knows this. And then Dragon from the west says nearly knocking someone out isn't knocking them out. Then Ruben Guerrero, well, he always comes and says Usyk's from a different cloth. He also thought that Kawanaki's from a different cloth as well. We saw how that ended with Helenius. But anyway, Derek was finished after round 5. Yeah, but if you're a class fighter, you finish your job off. I've showed you in a watch. I did a watch along video with everyone for my birthday, and on my birthday I showed Evander Holyfield making his his second heavyweight fight, knocking out Rodriguez in 2 rounds, flat. Big, strong heavyweight. And they said Holyfield didn't have the power at heavyweight. And he knocked him out flat. Spit was coming out his mouth. And he was on the canvas. You know, Holyfield knocked him out cold. And I said, that's the sort of statement you make at heavyweight. And Usyk hasn't made that sort of statement yet. Usyk wasn't planting his feet. Usyk did better with Derek than White and Parker. But Usyk's an Olympic champion. White and Parker were never Olympic champions. Usyk wasn't planting his feet on purpose. Derek was saved by Bell in round 7. But then Usyk was too cautious.
Exactly what I told you. I told you after round 7, I would have had Usyk plant his feet on the floor and take the fight to Derek, because I don't think that Derek could have sustained any kind of attack from Usyk.
Derek Chisora and Anthony Joshua, in terms of physical specimens and punching power, are 2 different levels. If he reacts that he did when he got touched by Witherspoon, he didn't like it. When he got hit by Chisora, we've seen what's happened. And if Joshua hits him, I think he'll revert to type. I think he actually will become very cautious.
Yeah, Joshua is a good puncher with either hand. He's a good, solid puncher with either hand. He doesn't play.
Look at this. Joshua puts his punches together. He cuts the ring off. He goes the head into the body. His condition is far better now. He knows to pace the fight. No concerns for age in this fight. Stoppage. I like the sound of that. That sounds to me. But AJ's got to come out like that. And a small ring. A small ring. AJ's got to get them down. He's a champion, so he should say, listen, I want a small ring against Usyk, so he has no space to run. And take him in there and make it a telephone booth fight. You ain't running nowhere tonight.
Yes,
Me and you're going to fight.
I think that the WBC or the WBO, the WBO,
yeah,
or the IBO, I think one of the mandates that it has to be a 18 by 18 ring. And for heavyweights, 18 by 18 ring is a relatively small ring. I don't think they'll let it be anything lower than 18 by 18.
Derek Chisora is probably the hardest side for Usyk as heavyweight, and he dealt with him. A guy that had 10 losses. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's got a guy who's had 10 losses, and you're talking about being an elite fighter.
No, I mean, I don't think that Derek Chisora is the
elite heavyweight,
the hardest style that Usyk is going to have to face.
I think Usyk was injured.
Usyk was injured. I mean, injured how?
His elbow went.
Okay, and one shot from Joshua, well placed, the elbow can get injured again.
He says he was injured from his website. He said that he was injured. Yeah, he also said that when Derek Chisora hit him in the second round, the lights went out. So if the lights are going out versus Derek Chisora, then if the lights are going out, then there's going to be a power cut.
I think this is going to be a good fight. I think this is going to be a really good fight. You know, a good contrast of styles. And like is the case in many fights, it's the mindset of the corners that's going to make the difference in this fight.
So Terry's saying that Usyk's chin is granite and AJ may not be able to knock him out. Well, you feel different and you're his trainer. You were his trainer.
Listen, a heavyweight like Anthony Joshua can knock out any other heavyweight that he lands a punch on consistently. All right? Anthony Joshua is a good, solid puncher. All right? And he can do damage. When he lands punches, he can do damage.
And you've been in camp with both guys. So you know.
What is this guy? What is this guy? He's in the Usyk fan club or something? Usyk has been hurt?
He's never, ever been hurt.
What is he talking about? The Usyk has never been hurt.
Yeah, he's never been hurt. He's got a granite chin. Never been hurt.
No,
but AJ's been flawed.
Usyk has been hurt. Usyk is just a good professional. Usyk is just a good professional. You know, he knows how to camouflage being hurt. But he's been hurt. All fighters get hurt.
Derek brings pressure. Most other fighters are stiff, other than Fury. Oh God.
Look, Derek.
AJ isn't as aggressive as Derek, but AJ has got Olympic pedigree. Derek hasn't. I mean, how can you compare AJ with Derek Chisora? Derek Chisora's never even been a world champion.
I think that Derek Chisora wastes a lot of energy.
Too many. He punches himself out.
He wastes. To me, he's ineffective overall. He throws away a lot of energy. I think that AJ boxes well. He places his punches well. He goes to the body. He goes to the head. He alternates. He's a smart, clever boxer. Usyk is a very smart boxer.
Do you believe that Usyk will tie AJ up in knots? I can't believe that for some reason. I just cannot believe it. If you couldn't tie Derek Chisora up in knots, how you tie Usyk, AJ up in knots? You can't see it.
I just said that the best thing for AJ to do is go out there, but he's got to take on the George Foreman, the Sonny Liston attitude. I'm the big man in here, and I'm going to prove it right from the rip. I'm going to show you something. What happens when a heavyweight lands punches? All right. I mean, Bob Foster was trying to go up against Ali and Frazier. He couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he couldn't do it. And Bob Foster was a very good all-around boxer, but he could not go up against Frazier and Ali. He just couldn't do it.
He says his excuse was Terry says, I've followed Usyk for years. Only ever been hurt to the stomach. But he's followed Usyk. You've trained Usyk. There is a difference.
Yeah, big difference. A big difference. and I didn't just train him. I trained him for 3 years.
Well, there we go. To the championship of the world. So if you know your boxer and you followed Usyk, then you know who Uncle Bashir is. Lev says, guys, let Bashir speak and just listen and learn.
No, but it's important for a lot of people to get their point across of like what they believe, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Derek is only dangerous in the first 5 rounds when all fights all out, when he fights all out. So how did he knock Carlos Takam out then? Explain that one. I don't get that. Then how do you
Terry, explain that one, Terry.
I explain how he almost knocked out Dillian White as well in the later rounds. I don't know where this Terry guy is coming from. I'm sorry. AJ boxes. He's just saying that Chisora is not as aggressive. AJ is not as aggressive as Chisora.
AJ is a boxer puncher. He's a boxer puncher.
Nick G says, Usyk is going up in levels massively at heavyweight. Not convinced he's ready for AJ. Think he needed to be in with someone like a Joyce or White first to see how he got on. Usyk is in for a shock when AJ lands. That's what I believe. I mean, you can have all this movement and stuff, but when you get hit cleanly for the first time on the right with the right hand by AJ, can you still do all that stuff for 12 rounds when you get hit? That is Usyk's key point there. Can he still do what he's doing? Or is he going to become cautious, getting hit like he's never been hit before?
Well, he's gonna have to take some shots out there, you know. Like I said, Usyk is a good boxer, a good planner, you know, and he's gonna have to be on his P's and Q's because AJ can punch. He can punch with both hands. AJ is the champion. AJ is coming in there with the attitude that, look, I'm the champion. You come into England, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Usyk needs you, he's saying.
Yeah, I think he needs me. You know?
We think he needs you.
And I think that AJ needs me, you know?
I think Vladimir Klitschko needs you if he decides to come back.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, you're not alone. I think so too. But you know, people is going to choose who they're going to choose. They're going to do it their way, you know. and that's it.
He said, I think Usyk would win if you still training him. It's a training thing.
I think that the mindset of those corners are going to play a very valuable role in this fight. A very valuable role. Because the mindset of the trainers now, they're not like the trainers of old. The applications, the little things sometimes is what makes the difference in a fight. And these are the little things that I would attack from either side. If I was training AJ, I would attack the little things on Usyk. If I was Usyk's side, I would attack the little things on AJ. And the little things is that that people today don't know about. Little things that help you win,
Mm-hmm.
It's little things that led up to the Ruiz fight. Ruiz knocking out AJ, Some things that AJ was doing in that fight leading up to the fight, which
Indeed.
allowed him to get
To be in that position, to get knocked out the way he did.
Yes.
Yes. This is if the Usyk, that big Gassiev turns up, AJ's in trouble. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Huh?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that 1 second, because there's no way Gassiev has the reach that AJ has. He hasn't got the height that AJ has. He hasn't got the physical strength that AJ has. He hasn't even got the Olympic pedigree that AJ has. So I don't think you can compare Gassiev to AJ.
No.
Uncle, your thoughts?
No. Gassiev, no. I mean, what are you talking about? That's nonsense. Get out of here. Gassiev is nowhere near being in like an AJ. Are you serious? What led somebody to think to even say something like that?
I don't know. Does Uncle believe Usyk body work could help Worth versus AJ? Well, I think it works versus anybody. You work to slow the body down. You stop the guy from moving around the ring. They slow down. You bring their hands down, and you got the heads open.
Yeah,
Uncle,
I would. Like I say, if the mindsets of the corner is going to play a valuable role in this fight, okay? And I would think it doesn't take a
rocket
scientist to say, hey, AJ, you got to start with your body work early. You know what I'm saying? You cannot let Usyk have an inch, because if Usyk can take an inch, he's going to take a mile, and rightfully so.
Let's be honest. Does Usyk do anything to keep Joshua off him? Not convinced he does. Fury has the same problems against AJ, in my opinion, says Nick G.
Nick has had a valuable point. It's the same thing I was just saying.
How effective is that tippy-tappy stuff? And moving around, skating around the ring, as I call it.
Well, I think that if I were training AJ, if Usyk starts that, then he's going to have to continue that for 12 rounds, because I'd be on his ass. I'd make him, if he starts that, he'd have to do it. He'd have to do that for 12 rounds, because the minute he stopped, I'd break him down.
Do you know what this fight reminds me of, Uncle, when I look at fights? It sort of reminds me, unfortunately, Zelka Mavrovich wasn't a lefty, but this fight reminds me of the way Lennox Lewis fought Zelka Mavrovich.
Yeah.
A big man with the Olympic pedigree, a big man versus a guy who's Eastern European. And he's another guy, Mavrovich, who he had a good knockout pedigree, but he used to throw a lot of these pitter-patter punches. And Lennox said, tonight, I'm going to show you what a big man, a big heavyweight is. He leaned on Mavrovich. He mauled with Mavrovich. He busted him up on the inside, Mavrovich. He whacked him to the body. But, Lennox tired himself out fighting Mavrovich. And Mavrovich had a really good 7th round where he had Lennox pinned against ropes. But Lennox pulled out the uppercut, left-right combination, and pushed Mavrovich back. But he just pushed his tank to just keep pushing against Mavrovich.
Lennox had that attitude that you cannot hurt me.
That's it. I'm going to take you out.
All right? I'm walking in, and you cannot hurt me. There's nothing you can do about what I'm getting ready to do.
Uh, uh, Ruben Gray says Usyk has a good left hand to the body. Well, Razor Roddick said he had a good left jab to the body as well. Look where that ended him up.
Usyk got a lot of good punches, you know. Usyk is not a slouch. That's why he's in the position that he's in now.
Leif Gravenson asked the question: is Usyk's task to conquer the heavyweight division much greater than it was for Evander Holyfield?
No.
I don't think so, exactly.
No. Are you serious?
No shot.
Are you serious? No.
Usyk versus Mike Dokes.
Very interesting fight. That's a very interesting fight.
Usyk versus Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Yeah, I'm taking Dwight Muhammad Qawi. You can keep your Usyk. I'm going Dwight Muhammad Qawi in this one, Uncle.
Yeah, that's a tough fight too.
Tough. Over 15 rounds. Like how Evander had to do it.
Tough fight. That's a really tough fight.
The first Dwight Muhammad Qawi, not the second one. The second fight when he moved up to the first fight. Dwight Muhammad Qawi against Usyk.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. That's a really tough fight.
Evander had him on his 14th, 15th fight?
No, 12.
Well, look at that. 12th fight. Look at that. Dwight Muhammad Qawi. The closest thing we've got probably to Dwight Muhammad Qawi to now in the heavyweight division would be, and it's a poor. No. Carlos Takam.
Oh, Takam.
Wouldn't you say?
Takam.
More Takam.
I said Chisora. Chisora comes forward, you know.
But Takam's got that style as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that, and he's got that about him. He'll cross arm and he'll hunt you down. Chisora will, and I think Takam's. I just think Takam's a better version of Derek Chisora. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Uncle?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah, that could be the case. I think that could be the case.
When AJ hits Usyk, he's knocked out. There's no mile. LOL.
I don't know. Usyk takes a pretty good punch.
From who?
Usyk takes a good. I mean, he's been hit. He's been hit in his career. He's been hit a couple of times.
Yeah, but him getting hit at 225 pounds or 240 pounds or 230 pounds is different to him getting hit at 215 pounds, isn't it? Because you're moving.
When he fought in the what's that? The European fights over there. What's it? The WWS.
Against a Joe Joyce that was inexperienced. He couldn't do that now against Joe Joyce.
But he fought a lot of big guys when he was coming up the ladder. He fought a lot of big guys that jarred him up. He's been hit.
But he had that speed of movement, though, Uncle. He had that speed of movement, didn't he?
The point I'm making is that he's been hit. Being hit is not. Usyk is no stranger to being hit.
Oh.
All right, and he's gonna have to take some lumps and bumps in that training camp that he's in preparation for the Joshua fight. He's gonna have to take some lumps and bumps. So he's no stranger to being hit.
There are lots of times Usyk hurts opponents because timing and sneaky shots. Could they rock AJ? We saw him rock Allen in sparring. Oh, God. Uncle? AJ, Usyk rocking Dave Allen in sparring.
Yeah, well, David Allen is not no Anthony Joshua. Dave Allen is not no Anthony Joshua. And like I said, if Usyk can rock anybody, he's a good sharp puncher.
I think Usyk is more dangerous than Andy Ruiz. Well, I beg to differ at the moment.
I don't think he's dangerous. I think he's a better boxer than Ruiz, but
as
far as being dangerous,
I
think Ruiz
is more dangerous.
Ruiz is more dangerous, I think.
Oh yeah,
and he's quick. Ruiz is very quick.
He is. He's underestimated a lot. Does Usyk want to sit in the pocket and trade with Joshua to the body? Just can't see how he beats Joshua. trying to think of scenarios of all of them have AJ winning.
No, I don't think that he wants to trade with AJ. I think that Usyk's whole game is going to be try to box. You know,
A good Ruiz beat AJ. Well, I have my theories about AJ in that first fight. I have some theories about it. The same theories I have about Deontay Wilder. The same theories I have about Vladimir Klitschko when he fought Lamont Brewster. The same theories, but we'll leave that for another conversation for another day.
yeah, you know,
Usyk beat the hell out of Joe Joyce. Oh my God. They're basing that amateur fight. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You people something. Excuse me for 1 second, Uncle. Let me tell you guys something. There was a guy called Henry Tillman in the amateurs. Henry Tillman beat Mike Tyson twice, and the professionals, Mike Tyson knocked Henry Tillman out in a round, I believe. Uncle Bashir, can you give us some history on this?
no, you can't compare an amateur fight to a pro fight because when the picture looked as though it was going to be AJ versus Tyson, then the WBO was lining up a fight between Joe Joyce and Usyk. And the last I heard, Joe Joyce was on the internet saying, I hope they hurry up and make this fight so I can beat Usyk up.
That's exactly what he done.
So he was alluding, so he felt in his mind that I can beat this guy based off the fight that he saw with Derek Chisora. Based off the fight he saw with Derek Chisora, he felt comfortable in saying that I hope they hurry up and make the fight so I can beat Usyk up. It was a shoe-in for him that I'm going to beat him easy.
The guy I would have had sparring Alexander Usyk would have been Daniel Dubois. That's the guy I would have had sparring with Usyk. Big, physical, strong, the height, punching power.
And that's willing to engage.
Yeah, Daniel Dubois. That's who I had a sparring partner. Not Lawrence Bacoli. Not Martin Bacoli. But anyway, that's what the hell do I know?
But the thing I like about the fact Usyk said, look, what is it saying? What is it saying?
Uncle, what do you think of Usyk bulking up for this fight and putting weight on? Does it hinder his main assets, which are speed and movement? We talked about it earlier, but please, Uncle.
Myself, personally, I would not have had him bulk up. I would let him just go ahead and go through the workout stages, you understand, and box. Box. My whole forte would be box, and I would bring him in, like I said, between 217 and 219 and leave it at that. But bulking up and stuff, you're putting your apples in one jar, hoping that Usyk can land something hard and knock AJ unconscious. But that's a big if. That's a long shot, you know. That's a long shot. It's a long shot, and then you go out there and it don't work, then you screwed, man.
You're in trouble, and you can't get out of the way of the big punches coming in.
When you get around 8th round, and that plan didn't work, it's not going to look good. So he's looking to land a shot.
With a more mobile AJ, how will Usyk hope to stay mobile and outbox him?
I'm telling you, if AJ come out there with that style that he had versus Ruiz, it's going to be problems. But I wouldn't suggest that AJ did that. I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest that he came out playing with him. He better not. He better not play that game with Usyk because Usyk will steal that fight. Usyk will steal that fight. He'll outpoint him.
What about coming out like the way he used to come out early in his career when he first started his career, AJ?
That's the kind of style he's going to need to win this fight.
Old school AJ.
Yes. That's the kind of fight he's going to need to fight. The Usyk that fought Kevin Johnson.
The AJ that fought Kevin Johnson.
Yeah. The heavyweight wrecker. Look, AJ is much bigger than George Foreman and Sonny Liston was. AJ is much bigger than George Foreman or Sonny Liston was.
Yeah, but AJ doesn't have the mentality. See, Joe Joyce has got the mentality of a George Foreman. I've said this to you before. Joe Joyce is like George Foreman, like a British George Foreman. He's one of them guys that will. I don't know. He's got a bloody mindedness about him. He's like, no matter what you throw at me, I'm gonna take whatever you got and I'm gonna give you something in return.
Yes. And I applaud Joe Joyce for that. I applaud that mentality because Joe Joyce is saying, "Listen, I'm no Cinderella man. I'm working with what I got.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm not going window shopping for nothing. This is what I got. This is what I'm coming to the dance with. And if you're in the way, I'm gonna knock your head off. That's
it. That's what Carlos Tackham's gonna find out. Tackham's talking that stuff. Tackham's gonna find out real quick. He's walking into a brick wall, and then it's another story altogether. You guys here, great show, guys. AJ gasses out while Usyk's tank gets better as the round go on. That's a lie. That's a blatant lie. That is not a heavyweight. That's not true. Uncle, what do you think?
Usyk is a master at observing people when they run out of gas. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So stamina is not going to be an issue for OLEKSANDR Usyk. Even though he gassed a little bit the first time that I've ever seen him gas was in the Chisora fight. I don't know whether the event got to him, you know, whether
the body shots
he got to him, the body shot. I don't know what it was, you know. But Usyk is a smart guy, you know. But AJ is not you know, no run-of-the-mill dummy either. He's been out there long enough to know where he's at and what he has to do, you know. I think that AJ is going to box, but he has to box smartly. None of that dancing around, jumping around stuff. He's got to box smartly. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to take the fight to Usyk and never let up off the gas. Never let up off the gas.
So what can he learn from the Pulev fight? Because I see him hit Pulev with a right hand and Pulev wanted to run out the ring. I've never seen seen Pulev.
Yeah.
You're getting hit that hard. He wants to run out the ring, Pulev. That.
Yeah, he did. He did look like he looked like he would climb over the ropes.
And Pulev's a hard man. And he made a hard man like Pulev want to run out the ring. So I fear when Usyk gets hit by Joshua. I really do.
I think that Usyk is going to be mentally prepared for the punches that Joshua will deliver. I think Usyk is going to be prepared for those punches, to take the punches and then fire back.
There we go. Although Usyk versus Joyce amateur, it was with no headgear. Usyk nearly broke Joe's jaw. Joe was convincingly beat, no question. Joe was a rank amateur when he fought that fight. A rank amateur, as far as I'm concerned. You can't compare Joe Joyce then to now. Uncle, please.
No, he's grown since then. He's grown since then. And he believes in himself. You know, that's a big thing.
And the opposition that Joe Joyce has fought as a pro at heavyweight, I would say arguably believe he's been better than Chisora.
And Joe Joyce,
Usyk.
He hasn't turned down anything but his collar.
There you go.
In his career, he hasn't turned down anything but his collar. So I applaud Joe Joyce again.
When you're getting hit hard today by 245 man, your gas tank is going to get pushed to the limit. Usyk able to dance around a cruiserweight, but can't do that heavyweight against someone like AJ. No, you can't.
No, it's not, and it wouldn't be wise.
Not happening. Knowing Usyk, how does Bashir think Usyk will react to a potential TKO loss to Joshua?
I don't want to even allude to that. I don't want to answer that question. You know, you can never say how a person is going to react until that actually happens, and it hasn't happened. So I don't want to even go off into that.
This guy says Usyk never gets hit flush. You know what? This guy reminds me of those guys. It reminds me of myself when I was younger, looking at fights and thinking he's never been hurt, he's never been stopped, he's never been dropped. And then I'd go and make a bet on a fight because he'd never been stopped and dropped. But then he'd never fought anybody. And then he fought somebody who actually could drop him and stop him. And he would get dropped and stopped and I'd lose money at the bookies. Just because a person has been dropped and stopped doesn't mean they can't be dropped and stopped. It's just a matter of time before that happens. What do you think, Uncle?
It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Everybody gets dropped. Everybody gets stopped if you hang around long enough, you know? The circumstances is the big thing. As far as Usyk never getting hit flush, it's always
You'll
the
get
first time.
you'll get a flush in this fight. What are
Everybody
what
gets
are the
flushed.
chances? What are the chances of getting hit flush in this fight, Uncle?
Big time. You this is what you're vying for the heavyweight championship of the world. And believe me, Joshua knows what he's in possession of. He knows what he's in possession of. You think Joshua's not sitting back saying, listen, I can't lose this fight. I got Fury next, you know. I can't lose this fight. I can't lose this fight. After the me slipping on the banana peel versus Ruiz, I cannot let this happen. So he's focused and saying, I want this fight. I'm gonna win this fight.
Yeah, you talk about declining Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz has fought for the world title twice and has lost for the world title twice. I'd decline Luis Ortiz. If I was a number one contender on the verge of fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world, I'd decline against Luis Ortiz. People talk about Luis Ortiz as some great fighter. Who has Luis Ortiz beat? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see what the big hoo-ha about Luis Ortiz is. I still can't see it, me personally. But,
I can't
you know,
either. I can't either.
oh,
He's a good fighter. He's a
yeah.
good fighter, but I don't see what all the brouhaha about Luis Ortiz is.
No, I don't. I don't either. I don't. I've never seen it. I remember saying to people he'd never fought any puncher in his career, any hard puncher. Said the first time he defeats somebody who can really crack, you're going to know about it. And we saw it in the first fight against Wilder, and the second fight. I said as soon as Wilder touches him, this guy's going over. They didn't believe me. One time Wilder touched him, he was out like a light.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the fuss, or he don't. It says here, I get the feeling AJ does what everyone else does with Usyk. Goes balls out for the first 4 rounds, then gasses when all spent.
No, I think AJ is wiser than that. He's smarter than that. He's smarter than that. I don't think that he's going to go out balls to the wall. I think that he's going to fight a smart fight, you know, as is the case with Usyk. But I think Usyk is going to try to counterpunch. That would be his best ally, is to try to counterpunch. You know, work off of AJ's mistakes.
So, okay, Uncle. So I've suggested Daniel Dubois as one of the sparring partners for Alexander Usyk. Who else would you bring into camp for Alexander Usyk? Were you if you were helping? What you were in his corner in heavyweights?
I would get the kid Jared Anderson.
Okay.
Jared Anderson and Ajagba.
Okay. A Jagba, yeah, I see that. Definitely a Jagba.
Those
Definitely
two guys. Those two guys. All I need is those two guys, and I can make it work.
What about Daniel Dubois?
Daniel Dubois, you said him. That's why I didn't bring him up.
Okay.
You know, yeah, but that's what I would work with. Those guys.
And for AJ, who would you bring in for AJ for sparring?
I would bring two light heavyweights in. I would bring in two light heavyweights.
Two southpaw light heavyweights.
Two southpaw light heavyweights, tall, rangy. Two light heavyweights for sure. You know, it's going to be hard to find somebody on Oleksandr Usyk's level to bust. You know, I can't think nobody in the cruiserweights that can even emulate Usyk's style. You know, so it's going to be difficult for Anthony Joshua to find sparring partners.
Let me throw you somebody in for you. And this is a long shot. Eddie Chambers.
Eddie Chambers just don't have the height.
But he has that. He's got that erratic. He's got that movement, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yes, Eddie Chambers has that movement.
I tell you who would have been good back in the day, if I could have got hold of him, Chris Bird.
Yeah.
Bird's movement.
Yeah, Chris Bird would have been nice. But Usyk, I think, is 6 feet 4 inches tall.
Yeah. Chris
You
Bird was
know,
6'3", wasn't he?
but Anthony Joshua, I mean, Eddie Chambers, that could be very, very useful for Anthony Joshua. Eddie Chambers could be very, very useful for Anthony Joshua. You know, I would, I would, um, I would seek his services. I'd go out of my way to try to get Eddie Chambers that game because Eddie Chambers is a fast, slick
Yeah.
fight, a very, very fast, very, very slick fighter that can
He's got
emulate
that
Usyk.
movement. He's got that movement, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's got the movement.
he's got fast hands. You know.
Um. Would you use Vladimir Klitschko?
Pardon me.
Would you use Vladimir Klitschko?
I wouldn't use no Ukrainians.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, you wouldn't use any Ukrainians.
I wouldn't use no Ukrainians.
Why'd you say that?
I just wouldn't want. I just wouldn't use them. I don't think it'd be good to use no Ukrainians.
Okay, I hear you on that. Okay.
But I guess, just like Usyk is using
Bakoli,
I guess that,
tit for tat.
I know Latimer didn't care where you came from. He would use you. If you had a style that was beneficial to Latimer Klitschko, he would use it. So I guess Joshua could do the same thing.
You know who would be good? Fabio Wardley. Cash Ali. Cash
is a lefty, right?
I think he is. Cash Ali, he's got that. Another one who's quite big, but he's got that movement as well. Fabio Wardley, again, movement. But Fabio Wardley's already been sparring with Usyk. Usyk ain't messed around. He's been sparring with Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, he sparred with Fabio. I was there. I was in the camp with them. I was in the camp with Usyk when he sparred with Fabio.
And what did you learn from that?
It was good work. It was good sparring. It was very good, very good work.
How does Eddie get rematch clause for Amando?
Who was that?
Yes, how does Eddie Hearn get a rematch clause for Amando? Mandatory.
Who?
Mandatory, is it? Mandatory.
Hey, you got me, man. You got me, man.
Does Bashir ever learn anything worthwhile from listening to fans of the sport?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I learn. And most of all, I learned not to listen to other people who are fans of the sport. Fans are not good experts.
No, they're certainly not. This is an interesting one. Team AJ need to hire this dude.
Look, egos. Egos is what prevents people like me from being in those camps. When I'm in the camp, I know too much because I'm from the old era of boxing. So I know things that the young people now are not privy to. So I'm somewhat of a threat, even though I'm probably the nicest guy in boxing or one of the nicest guys in boxing. But, most of the time people view me as a threat, as though I was going to influence the fighter to go away from them, So a lot of times they don't have me in camps because of their own, I don't know, insufficient mentality,
Inferior mentality.
Yeah.
I think AJ has brought in Gashi. Gashi's okay. He's okay, but he's no Usyk, but he's okay.
Who was Gashi?
I don't know. He's one of the guys that Derek Chisora fought who made Derek Chisora chase shadows for most of the night. Chambers don't want to do AJ any favors. No, I don't think he does, to be honest.
Chambers don't want to. What do you mean?
Well, AJ Chambers don't want to do AJ any work, any favors. I remember when that he called Chambers an Uncle Tom or something like that, and AJ said that black people were the superior race or something like that. It came out, and I did the interview about 15 minutes after the story broke on Bwtm Sports.
Eddie Chambers?
Yeah. And well, AJ said that about Eddie Chambers, and I said to Chambers, "Well, look, do you want the fight on? Do you want to fight AJ or not?" He kept I mean, at his moment where he could have really pushed for a fight between him and AJ, I don't know. He just didn't.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Oh yeah, I got the interview.
Yeah, but that still shouldn't get in the way of business. Do your business and leave that other stuff on the outside.
There we go, Uncle. This Terry Crow really is pushing a point tonight. He says, I think he might be actually part of Team Usyk. He says, I still think Usyk has done a better job at heavyweight than people give him credit for. He dissected Chaz so well, Chaz couldn't get off his stool. It was beautiful to watch.
Well, it should have been beautiful to watch because
Chaz Witherspoon
Chaz just got off the sofa and he's been on the sofa ever since.
He only does 4 round fights anyway, Chaz Witherspoon.
But Chaz got off the sofa to fight Usyk, and he went 8 rounds, and then he sat back on the sofa again.
I think it was the same sofa that Klitschko was sitting on for 2 years before he fought AJ, right?
Right.
Oh dear. Is there ageism in boxing regarding trainers? Well, I wouldn't have thought so. You got Freddie Roach and
what does age have to do with? As long as your brain work is all right. That's the main thing.
Well, no, ageism. I think I get what Leif's talking about. He's probably talking about ageism in the sense of old dinosaurs and guys that don't want to do the flashy pad work and all that stuff. So because you can't do flashy pad work, then
I don't think that age accounts for demonstrating knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
I understand that.
You know how to throw a punch or when to throw the punch or how to set timing up. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that plays a role. You know, I've even had boxers who felt like I should be there in the morning when they run. I should be with them when they're doing the sit-ups. And I said, no, I got other things to do, like watching videos of the person we're going to fight, dissecting them, setting up an apparatus for us to beat them. You know, I think that's more important than my being there when a person runs or skip ropes or do whatever else. But some fighters want you there, you know. The fighters, in many cases, believe if I got to get up and run, then you got to be up there with me. No, I don't have to be up there. I'm fucking 70 years old. What else was I getting up running with you? I did all the running I'm going to do, man. I'm not doing that no more. I did all the running, all the sit-ups and pull-ups and all that stuff. I did all that stuff before most of these people were born. And they want me to come out there and do that kind of stuff.
Madness.
My brain is working. That's the thing that you want me for, my brain. What's in my brain?
Uncle Bashir, is there any circumstance in which Usyk could wear AJ down with bodywork and secure split decision or a late stoppage?
It's very possible.
Okay.
Very possible. If AJ sits there and tolerates it, yeah, it's very possible.
This was the comment that made me laugh while you were talking, Uncle. Let me bring it up for you. Please. There we go. There. It says, Chaz takes up my bins on a Friday morning along with Safa Safari.
Do what?
He says, Nick G says, Chaz takes out my bins on a Friday morning along with Safa Safari.
Comedian time. Comedians on the station.
But it's funny though. Oh dear me. Chaz Here it goes. Chaz. Let me get this up again. Come on, don't mess me around. Come on, let's get these comments up. Come on, don't. Okay. Chaz is a 6-round fighter. LOL, check his box rec. There you go, 6-round fighter. Okay, and somebody's come back and says, no, AJ says something about his particular tribe from Nigeria are superior race. That's not the first time he said that, and that particular tribe has a general attitude about itself. I know the tribe that AJ comes from. I have seen that tribe that AJ comes from, and I know the area that AJ comes from. I've actually been to that place where AJ comes from. So yeah, I do understand that. Let's go here. Next comment. Come on. Please comments in.
Chaz is a 6-round fighter. Check his check his box rec.
Goes here. AJ fought an old Klitschko in 50-50. I think AJ's come on since that Klitschko fight. Klitschko was in his early 40s. Yes, but you're comparing Vladimir Klitschko, former unified heavyweight champion of the world, former gold medalist, against bloody Chaz Witherspoon. There's a big difference, Terry.
Chaz never fought Chaz with Vladimir.
No, he's comparing Chaz Witherspoon to Vladimir Klitschko because they both came off the couch.
Yeah, but
I haven't seen. He said, I haven't seen Usyk.
You saw the difference in their styles in that ring, though.
Of course. I haven't seen Usyk put a foot wrong in any fight. I've seen AJ put his feet wrong plenty of times. Oh, boy.
Okay. Well, you know.
You might see both feet going right side up in this fight. Right, pointed upwards towards the stars.
I just want the 25th of September to come. I want to see the fight, man.
So do I.
Fight can't come soon enough. The fight can't come soon enough. I'm enthusiastic to watch, to see what happens. I want to see the scenario, how this thing plays out, what strategies is going to be applied.
Come on,
you know,
where is
I want to see what strategy is going to be supplied in this fight. You know,
because
I got some things in my mind that can help either person.
I know one tactic that could be used, Uncle.
What's that?
Get AJ sparring on a spongy mattress before the fight, and then when the fight comes, get Usyk to fight on a spongy mattress, spongy canvas. So then it saps the energy of Usyk's legs. So come fight time, Usyk's bouncing around on his mattress. 4 or 5 rounds, it saps the energy out of Usyk's legs. Round 6-8, AJ can go to work. What do you think, Uncle?
Look, I just think that AJ is a bigger guy. I think.
What do you think, Uncle?
Yeah, I think.
What do you think, Uncle?
That's a good idea.
Hey, you like me now, Uncle, eh?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You like them old school tricks now, Uncle? You like that one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Look, I think that AJ is the bigger, possibly stronger, younger guy. Mm-hmm. I think that he needs to go out in the very first round and take over. Now, if Usyk doesn't let him take over, kudos for Usyk. But then he'd have to show up and say, no, you're not going to take over. He'd have to tell me no. With his actions, he'd have to tell me, no, you can't take over. But if I was training AJ, I say, go out the first round and take the fight over. You gotta go out there with that mentality. And sometimes that means you got to take some punches to get something.
They say tonight, you know what? Tonight you ain't running nowhere. Tonight, that nonsense, that tippy-tappy stuff is not happening tonight. You're fighting the heavyweight champion of the world.
The mentality of the trainers now, they don't understand. They don't understand. They don't have that understanding. You know, the trainers of old is going to jump on the opportunities where they have them, where they see them. They're going to jump on those opportunities. They're going to say, listen, don't let them, look. You don't let them even think about being contesting you.
What would Emmanuel Stewart say, Uncle, in this situation? If you were in training camp with, I know what Emmanuel would say.
Emmanuel will say, you got to go out here, jump on them, don't let them breathe.
That's
If he throws a punch, you throw 3 punches. If he throws 3 punches, you throw 9 punches. He said, stay right there on him. Every step he takes, you got to be right there in front of him to punch. All right?
if AJ can get past Usyk with the WBC being held hostage, tied up in the basement somewhere, what can AJ do?
Keep fighting.
Fight Joe Joyce. Fight Joe Joyce.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to stop. He got to keep fighting.
I don't think he beat Joe Joyce though. I don't think he beats Joe Joyce. I'm sorry.
He got to keep fighting. I think he can.
I don't think he can.
I think he can beat Joe Joyce.
Nah, no way. No way. Mm-mm. Sorry.
I think that he'll beat him.
I don't see it. He goes, Terry will be eating crow very soon. And Terry Crow says, I think everyone's in for a shock.
Okay. You know, I like Usyk. I like Anthony Joshua Usyk. So I'm saying neutral in this here. Because I like both guys.
How big a part would the jab play in AJ Usyk fight?
Most of the time, they say the jab is ineffective against a southpaw, but in the AJ case, I think that it will be effective because he's taller and he's got a longer reach. So I think that the jab will be effective.
What about the straight right hand left hook combination, Uncle?
Coming from who?
Straight round left hook. It's gonna be coming from AJ, isn't it? The he's fighting against the southpaw, the right hand left hook combination.
I think that's the worst punch that an orthodox fighter can throw against a southpaw fighter.
Why is that?
Because every southpaw fighter looks for that combination. Every southpaw fighter is looking for the combination. Straight right hand, left hook. You show me a southpaw in the world that doesn't look for that combination. No. Part of being a good trainer is innovation. You got to do what the boxer does not think you're going to do.
Okay.
All right? Everybody's talking about the straight right hand, left hook. What about the left hook? What about the left hook to the body, left hook to the head, then the right hand? Nobody thinks about that. When I was growing up many, many years ago, that was the rule. The left hook to the body, the left hook to the head. That was the rule. You find the left hook before you do it in the straight right hand. Everybody's in the right hand, straight right hand, straight hand. No, the left hook is the one that sets the right hand up.
Okay, yep. Okay.
Left hook, right hand, left hook. That was the thing when I was growing up.
Right hand, left hook, right hand.
No, okay. Left hook.
Left hook,
right hand, left hook.
To the southpaw.
That's right. That's right. And that left hook can land anywhere on the elbow. It can land on the bicep. It can land on
left hook,
on the liver.
Left hook, right hand, left hook.
That's right. And then everybody talking about, the straight right hand, left hook. That's what you do with the southpaw. Yeah, right.
Wow. Okay. So I'm learning, Uncle, tonight. You're teaching me something tonight, Uncle. Not that I'm going to use it, but still.
It's the left hook. The left hook is the calling card. Left hook is the calling card for the southpaw, not the straight right hand.
So when they throw the straight left hand down down the pipe, that you could slip and throw the left hook inside. So inside their left hand. So slip the left hand and the left hook can come over the top. So when they're throwing the left hand, shooting left hand as they would do, the straight left hand, you're throwing the left hook over the top? Are you saying?
I'm just simply saying that off the jab, hook off the jab. Hook off the jab. And you're doing all this here before the right hand. All this here is going on before the right hand.
Okay. Well, interesting. Something you learnt there. It's kind of hard to say with Usyk being SP. What's SP?
Southpaw.
Southpaw, yeah. Okay. See, there you go there. If AJ can't knock Usyk out, AJ loses. Well, he might knock him down 3 or 4 times and then win on a unanimous points decision.
No, you said nothing about that, Terry. But those knockdowns, please.
AJ's still developing his jab, and it's come on. It has. Joshua stops the fight with a left, right. Good night. Or a roll uppercut. The uppercut that he threw against Vladimir Klitschko. Ooh, yeah.
I think it's going to be a good fight for 5 rounds.
Okay, Uncle. I'm going to ask you some other questions pertaining away from this heavyweight fight and your friend Tyson Fury and COVID, and then him showing up in the casinos and COVID and Joseph Parker showing up at the UFC event, and then find out that Fury tested negative 9 days later, and he's on his way back to England now, and he was getting supposedly beaten up and sparring and stopped in sparring on his feet by Jared
Fury
Anderson.
is on his way back to England now?
Yeah, he is.
So what is this I hear about him and Freddie Roach?
Yeah, he wants to join. He wants Freddie Roach to train now, so I understand.
Who said that?
Tyson himself is saying he wants Freddie Roach to train him for this fight.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this, Uncle? I was thinking to myself, what?
I don't
now,
think Freddie Roach can train a heavyweight.
I don't think he's proven to show he can train a heavyweight, to be honest.
No, I don't think that he's going to could train a heavyweight. I don't think that he can train a heavyweight.
It's nice to have boxing in people in the room. I love it when they give they change their name to. But Tony Tucker's in the room. He says Tony Tucker's weight will Usyk's weight will slow him down, which will make Joshua pin him easily. Says Tony Tucker.
Oh, it's the former heavyweight champ?
Well, I don't know if it is the former heavyweight champ. Maybe somebody playing to be the former heavyweight champ. You never know in YouTube these days. But yeah, if it was the former heavyweight champ, good evening. But yeah.
Look, in a tough fight, if the fight is a hotly contested fight from 1 to 5, that weight's going to tell on him, you know? If Joshua makes him fight, if Joshua jumps on him and makes him fight, makes him exert any kind of energy, then that weight is going to tell on him.
What do you make of Evander Holyfield's statement that Deontay Wilder should have look after his water or check his water?
What did he say?
He said that Wilder should have checked his water.
Yeah, well, he said the right thing. He shouldn't have had to check the water. He should have had somebody put in place that you paid to watch the water, that you paid to be responsible for the water. That's what he should have done. All right?
Mm-hmm.
He should have paid for somebody to be in place that's going to be responsible for whatever happens to that water. That's your job, to watch that water.
Goes here, ironically, Freddie Roach's tactics advice in the first fight with Wilder were what Fury used in the second fight. But he went to Sugar Hill, so I'm not sure. But if that's the case, that's an interesting thing.
Ironically, Freddie Roach's tactics advice in the first fight with Wilder were what Fury used in the second fight. It wasn't no big thing. It wasn't no big science, you know. Fury just went there and did what a big man's supposed to do. He went there and took over. I don't care what you're doing. This is what I'm doing. All right.
Jared Anderson was preparing for a fight too. What did Fury expect?
Yeah.
He had a black eye. His mouth was busted when he was doing an interview with Anderson, with Gareth Davis.
Yeah, well, Jared Anderson is a good fighter. He's a very good fighter, you know.
If Wilder's so easy, why switch what works?
If Wilder's so easy, why switch? What is he talking about?
Trainers from Sugar Hill too.
No, Wilder's training by Malik Scott, right?
No, he's talking about why is it so easy? Why does Fury have to change trainers if he's so easy and he's a bum and he's useless and he's a dosser? Why does he have to change trainers?
Oh, Fury said he's going to change trainer, or somebody suggested that he change trainer?
No, he's going to. He wants Freddie Roach to train him now. He doesn't want Shaquille. He wants Freddie Roach. What do you think?
Oh boy. Yeah, just like COVID's mysteriously got into the camp. But all this here COVID going around, didn't they know that people got to take shots?
He did. He took the first vaccine, but he didn't take the second one.
And the bug just mysteriously got into the camp.
It got into the camp, but Josie Parker didn't have it, and Jared Anderson didn't have it, and F.A. Jagber didn't get it, and then Fury supposedly had it, and then 9 days later he tested negative.
Mm-hmm.
But then he was seen out.
Sure.
No face mask. And then they're saying now it was ticket sales, nothing to do with ticket sales.
I knew it was I knew something was going on.
What do you think, Uncle? In your opinion, knowing boxing, I don't think Fury was ready. To be honest,
I don't think he was ready. My opinion is that I don't think he was ready, or something was in his mind where he wasn't comfortable going into the fight.
You've seen Deontay Wilder training and the videos that have come out of him training. Have you seen any improvements in Deontay Wilder, in your professional expert opinion?
Listen, I can't tell anything. I can't make any estimations from looking at videos. Everybody is doing tricks and stuff, tricks with mitts. You know, you can't gauge a fighter.
But
preparing for a fight.
He's had a year. He's had a year though, Uncle. He's had a year and a bit to train with Malik Scott. So surely changes would have been made, significant changes.
Like I said,
what do you think?
I don't care who's training. I don't care who's training any fighter. And this doesn't go just for Malik Scott. This goes for anybody. You go on the floor and you do the work, and you go to the fight thinking that this is what we needed. He's done it. Now let's see what happens when you get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell until that bell rings. You can't tell until a guy gets hit in the mouth. When he gets hit in the mouth and put on his ass, then you can tell.
Think that was the disagreement between Freddie Roach and Ben Davison in the corner during the first fight. Ben Davison too negative, and Freddie Roach told Fury to stick it on him and push him back.
Okay, it's time for me to get off here now because there's too much static on your line now.
Yeah, it's getting that way.
So we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay. All right, Uncle, we'll talk again. Thank you so much tonight. Yeah, it's bad. It's getting bad, Uncle. Yeah, we'll stop. All right. Thank you so much tonight. Thank you so much, Uncle. Thank you all for watching as well. This has been Bwtm Sports. Don't forget to smash that like button. Smashing that like button sends a message to YouTube to let them know this is a video that you need to be watching. Thank you again for the support. Don't forget to read what's down on the banner. We're out. Thanks for your support.